Okay, so I think it's about 7:30 at night, and, I slept for a few hours last night, but but I'm on day 2 of fasting. But I did notice I haven't been drinking my water. I keep drinking tea, but just because it's cold and rainy, and it's just cold and rainy, it just seems like I just want some hot tea. And I can't seem to finish a cup, but I keep going and refilling it, so I just keep drinking that mostly. Is I had bought some grapefruit juice and, I have my water and stuff, and I even have a can of, kombucha that I had bought from, there's a place here that makes it, and they sell it, and, I bought one of those cans. I was like, "Hell yeah." I haven't even drank that. The, normally, I drink that real quick. So, oh, yeah, I was talking about the fasting. Oh, man. It's not just I don't know. There's something weird with me for sure. Like I have gone into robot mode or something. And so, I'm gonna talk about that. But it's hard for me to like I don't know, like shift gears or something for I've been so in my head and now I'm trying to communicate. And so, anyways, I live in my head mostly. So, but I'm gonna work on this because it has been extreme, and there's been so much going on. So of course I'm like in constant communication with my guidance, which they are so fucking. Uh, I don't know, just the like most simplest things always just make me so happy. It's just I was sitting there before I started and my back is so stiff. I keep doing all these stretches and doing all this kind of stuff to try and stretch it out. And it's a really high pitched frequency. Um, so I was trying to do stretches and stuff. And I tried to smoke a little bit, and then the it just keeps killing me and killing me. And so then the boron cream came into my mind. And so I went in and I got that and I put that on my back. But when I was going, because everything is such a mess, like I'm going to talk about that too. Um, but they just show me right exactly where it is. And so then as I'm going in there and I'm like, I'm gonna really be happy if it's right where you just told me. And I lived it right where they just told me. Always. I swear to God, that has been something so consistent in my life. When I can't find something, if I just ask them, they just show me where it's at. Always. Um, that has been that has been something always. Okay. Because there's several different things I want to talk about. And so, so it changed with my mom, thank God. So whatever message, plus I swear to God, just you guys sending out that positive, you guys are just so uplifting and positive and stuff, and just that energy, oh, yeah, when they say like the energy you put out will come back to you. And so, see, that is like the kind of community I think is important where we're just out trying to uplift each other. Just like it's gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be okay. And the okay, let me think. Because that was off from I have a bunch of things. Like that is one thing too. I think I was talking to you guys too in my head all day long. Um so like thinking of stuff I was going to talk about. Um, so I mean, anyways, I feel like flooded in with information, like, and the energy, like, I don't know if it's the energy out there, but my own energy is like, I feel like I have been plugged in or something. I don't know if it's the fasting. I definitely, uh, I don't even feel it at all. Like I don't even I'm telling you, you want to fast because it's always hard to me. I can't get past the 24-hour mark. And this one, get nervous about something. And it's so funny, yeah, because a long time ago when I was younger and I would be like a nervous wreck about everything. And then everybody always jumps down my throat on all my decisions. Always. My whole fucking life. Um, so But that's what trips me out. It's like, you wouldn't think that if you had your own connect, like you would know, I'm following my guidance. I'm following my intuition. I'm following, that nice, sweet voice. It's a very feminine, sweet voice. Um, and the other one's very dark. It's like dark. And we probably all have different, tendencies. And it's so funny because it's like with the uh the it's always hard to figure out what the tribe people, how they said the wolf is the dark one and the light one inside, and it's just like the yin and the yang. Everything through all these different like spiritual, or I would say spiritual, um concepts, is this balancing of this dark and light, the two sides of you. But you have to fucking figure out what your sides are. And this is the thing, is all these people are hidden from their dark side. That's what's going to come. That's why the lights need to come on. That's why they're going to come on, because they don't see their dark side. And so everybody's out balance. And that's why everything is so toxic in our relationships and dating, all that kind of stuff. And people find it is so toxic. It's because nobody's in balance, because everybody's on their hairpin trigger from their trauma, from not just this life, but other ones. But everybody is kind of like a part of the ride, a part of the game. Like when you go to an amusement park and you go through the ride, how there's like, oh my back, there's like this like you go through the saloon, you go through whatever, that it's kind of like that, like, if you get what I'm saying. So it's kind of like in life, when you like there is because you get on this ride, but I'm just getting too lost. This is getting too lost on that. Like, I don't even know where I was going with it. So I could see it clearly, but by the time I could say what I was seeing, I lost the back end. So hopefully you guys just put it all together, because I got lost in there. Okay, so back to that, because there's so many things I want to okay. I'm just like a fucking, and like I said, the energy is intense, man. Yeah, today, this is something weird too. Is like, ever since they came and served me, and then it was like something just turned on inside of me. And man, every time I say something, see, it just keeps going off in these things. Okay. But it just like it hit my adrenaline. And then so right away I wasn't being hungry or anything, so it was easy to fast. And because like when you're stressed and stuff, you don't want to eat. But then when I started thinking like, oh, I'm fasting now, and I'm going to use this to my benefit, doing all this work, because I might be able to do 5 days, because the truck's got to be returned. Oh, so I have that. Okay. So on the update thing, so my mom had messaged me this. When I got up, I had seen her message, and she said, thanks for being so understanding. And I think this is the thing too, where we're out of balance and dysfunctional, is and we live in an assumption. So I think that sometimes we become like defensive, kind of, because we think we perceive what we assume somebody's reaction is going to be. And so then we like can overreact or something, but that is our own perception. See, and this is where we get really into toxic relationships, because the true thing would be to communicate, to talk to the person and ask them like, well, what do you think about this? Is this what? But it's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard to say how you feel or whatever. And so anyways, I think she thought I was going to get real mad. And I didn't get mad. I just was kind of bewildered. I was like, what? And then it just brought in all these childhood issues and childhood memories and stuff, which obviously they were there. See, this is the thing, is all the people in our lives are meant to trigger these things inside of us. And so it looks like so many things fitting together, like you guys sending positive energy, but it's like that wave that we create, and then that wave is following, and then it's going, and it's creating change in our in our reality, in our path. Like it's like this, I don't know, it's like so much more. I swear to God, we're coming out of the dark. It's funny because the dark is going to be shown to people, but it's like we're coming out of the dark. But that's where they're going to see the deficit in their light, because they've been so consumed with the dark, because that is the dark energy that most people thrive in when they're out of balance. And that is why the light will come in, and it's been coming in streams, but it will come in a blast. And I still don't know what the event will be, what the thing's going to be, this catalyst thing or whatever, but it will create so much intense energy. And and that is going to be this, like, everybody's just all of a sudden going to see, like, the truth, something with the truth. And I don't know if we're all going to have different times of seeing the truth or something. But it's like everybody's going to see this truth. And then that truth is where that all of a sudden it's like you're going and going and going, and something pops up in front of you. And all of a sudden you just see yourself, only you see the truth. And once you see the truth and it absorbs back, like this reverberation hits back, all of a sudden it just is gonna take people down. It's gonna knock people for a loop, because they're just not expecting it, and people have just not been tuned into their soul. Because I'm fucking normal, like, to me. And it's so trippy is how so many people are so disconnected from it, but it's done on purpose. So I don't know, I'm just lucky one that it didn't work on that program or whatever. But I say it's the influence of my guides. I mean, they were coming in hot from the time I was a little kid. So and I'm telling you, it was like I was being like born into something that I was being prepared for a long time or something. It's weird. But I can, like, the things that they show me and stuff, it's trippy. So, anyways, so she thought I was gonna get mad. I guess, because that's how our message started. Well, thank you for being so understanding. And I was just like, what? Like, your son is sick and dying, so then you're gonna just have your daughter go be homeless? Like, what? I was like, okay, well, I have nowhere else to go. So, I mean, I could stay, I could live in the tent, I could put it in the shed or anything, but it's snowing there. Like, it's such a fucking swamp here, and it just keeps raining and raining and raining. And I'm going through all these different emotions. Like, this whole thing with my mom brought up so many different emotions. And then it's so trippy when you start looking at it spiritually and the connection you have, and how it works. And the so because it's been a whole bunch of different things. So when I got up, she sent that message and she said, thanks for understanding. And then she said, we could. She wasn't telling me I had to stay in the garage. I can go upstairs in the living room. I'm choosing to stay in the garage with the dogs. Like, I could go upstairs and sleep with the dogs downstairs, but then they would even be more maniac. They'd be down there barking and stuff. And I'd rather stick with them. Like, I've been sitting out here in our little pack for sleeping in our pack for a while. So yeah, I just want to stick with that. And so And I think I'm just gonna put up a tent, and then somebody said get that insulated, like that silver insulated paper stuff or whatever, and then I don't know, I probably could find it like at Harbor Freight or something. And then so once I get there and get set up, then I'll do that in the tent and get it set up for us to sit in there. And then and I got this little clip-on light thing, like a little light that I was like, oh, I could use this. Because I was thinking, I'll just sit in here and crochet and then take the dogs out for walks. We'll just go out and walk. Oh, where did I put my snow boots? Fuck. That's the worst about moving. Fuck. Man, they've got to be around here somewhere. I'm sure I'll notice once I start packing the truck up. So, anyways, my son-in-law was sick, right? And he wasn't going to come. And then while we were talking, he went and to his door and he had a 14-day notice. But his mom says that they send those out as threats. So he's probably not really going to be evicted because it costs so much and it's such a pain in the ass. They usually don't follow through. So I don't know. But everybody's lives, are going to keep going haywire. So, because everything has to fall apart, things have to be lost to go in a new direction. And so you have to let go of things. And then, fuck, man, I'm sure there's just so many emotional things about all of this stuff. And so, I've been going through that process, saying goodbye. I'm like feeling so sad about the squirrels being confused as why isn't she feeding us? What the hell? I'm gonna hang a bunch of bagels out and I'm gonna feed them the rest of the stuff. But there's hoarders too, and I don't know. I just feel bad because nobody else take responsibility because it costs money too. And so let me think. So she said that I could come and if the dogs could stay in the garage and not be upstairs with the cats and the other dogs. Especially she's got this one dog who never stops barking. Oh my God. I'd rather her stay out, honestly. She's got tons of cats and dogs and stuff, and it's like, oh man, that's intense. So intense. And so, when everything's temporary, this isn't forever. And then I'm not going to have a bunch of stuff I'm having to pay, so I will be able to I don't know. I know some other door will open. Something will start directing me. And this is something that I've been really playing with throughout the day with following the flow. And so it's really recognizing your own behavior, because every time I would start to feel panicky or like, what the fuck am I going to do? What the fuck am I going to do? I kept on being like, okay, calm down. And then that nice, sweet voice came, trust. And it kept telling me trust. It's been telling me trust for so long. And so, and every time I start like, oh my God, overthinking and going crazy, it's always trust. And then it's like, oh yeah, there's like a plan already in place. I don't have to figure this out. This isn't something I need to figure out. I'm just stressing myself out, trying to do, oh, what am I going to do about this? I'm going in this is obviously a universe movement. So it's already got a flow going. It's already taking me. And so it's like, and when you understand about fate and destiny, it just goes. It has a plan. Everything comes into alignment. You are where you're supposed to be. And so over the thinking and panicking and all that, as soon as you start going into panic mode and like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? That's try and catch yourself, because then it's like you start spinning out and it's unnecessary. It's like you can't do anything about it. It's so much more like it's benefit. Like there's a lot of good things about just letting the stuff happen the way it's supposed to happen. It's like, oh my God, this is cool. And then it's just like, fuck. It's like it's such a more beautiful energy than the kind of like where you're just all stressed and I've got to make this happen. How am I going to do this? What am I going to do? And so every time I would start to do that, I would just be like, okay, I mean, you guys obviously have a plan, so I gotta quit panicking, like, we're, oh my God, Monday, how am I gonna do that? And all that stuff. And then plus I go into some kind of robot mode. I don't know. And when I started, right when I very first started, and I was bringing in boxes and started putting stuff, I got super overwhelmed. I was like, fuck, man, fuckity fuck. What the fuck? And I was like, fuck. It was just like, okay, you don't have any choice. You got to do this. You can't, get stressed out over your own stress. You can't lose your shit. You got to just fucking go. And so I just kept pushing through. And that is where you think about that. I think it's like Chinese proverb thing or something. But the little story thing is all these dishes piled up, and the grasshopper guy has to go in and wash them or something. And then but it's so overwhelming with all of the pile, but you do it one dish at a time. You just go one dish at a time. And because when you try and take it all on, it's so overwhelming. So you just start going and focusing on just doing it and not thinking about like, oh shit, what am I going to do? And so, and I had decided, well, I'll just stay in the car. It will suck more for Stella than it would for me. But I was like, well, I can fix up the back of the car. I mean, it sucks too because there's not like anywhere you can go. You can't go down south. Every place is cold. And so that's why a garage seems like quite a step up, like to me. And so, and plus I could put a tent in the garage. I'm sure there's enough room to put a tent in there. Her car fits in there. The tent should fit where the car fits. So, she's going to take her car out and then I'll put the tent there and then fix up a little place where the dogs can, and then I hopefully make like a little fence thing too, where they can go out and go to the bathroom. And then I'm just going to take them on walks all the time. She's out at the lake, so we just go and it'll be something new to them. And so they'll be all excited. And then when they come in, they'll be worn out and they'll lay down. And we don't really have anything to do. I'll do my recording, but then it's going to always be an ordeal of downloading it. So I don't know what my new time frame will be once I get over there. I'll figure it out and I might kind of shift around. So I don't know. I might, oh yeah, I've got to I'll have to get everything all set up for, like if I'm going to still do it at 3 in the morning. I don't know if my time will change with my sleep and stuff. So I'll just have to go with the flow. Go with the flow. That's what I've been talking about. So anyways, so she said I could come stay at the garage. She said to get a storage unit. So there's a storage unit right up the street from her. So and they have half price for the first 2 months. And so I got the storage unit and I called and got the truck. And the guy who I got at Penske, he was, because it was expensive, because you got to pay mileage and stuff. And I got to do it both ways. And over here, there isn't even any trucks. And I was going to have to do it both ways then too, because if I was going to drive the truck, which I've never driven a big truck, so it was really scary too. But if I didn't have anybody to do it, I mean, I was going to have to do it and just trust. And Stevens Pass, you have to have chains. Snoqualmie Pass, you don't right now. But they come in with these storms at any fucking moment. And then I just feel like that whatever's supposed to be is supposed to be. And so I just keep trusting. I'm just going to keep trusting. And so I was going to have to get a truck over here, come load it up. I had asked the neighbor guy, said he would come and help me load in the furniture. I think he'd help me do the whole thing, but I'd rather just do it. I like to I get in my groove and And then someone talking to me and saw, I don't know. I become like a robot. I don't know. My mom even said when I was there, fuck, it was probably 2 or 3 years ago. God, time is so weird. It was last summer. I don't think it was last summer. I think it was the summer before. And I talked about it because it was when I went there, and then we were talking. She was going off on rapture stuff and saying, "Don't tell everybody I did not leave on a spaceship," which I have no idea where this come from. I don't ever sit there and say that. And so I was like, okay. And then whatever, that we had this tension of this conversation over stuff, because it's so weird. No matter what I say, she always tries this religion thing is just like the block. Like, we're talking about these same kind of things, but you're so blocked by this religion thing. So anyways, she so so man, I keep getting lost. um so oh yeah, so we went, so I was like, fuck, man, this is gonna suck. We gotta change the energy. We gotta do something different. And then I was like, oh, I could do a project for her. And so I was like, do you have any projects you need done? And she said she needed this wood moved, and she had like 3 cords. And I'm gonna go uphill and take it. I had like a wheelbarrow or something. And take the 3 quart up to our little woodshed and put it all in there, then put them in the garage, all of our wood places. And so, and it was dead ass, like 96 degrees or something. And I just went out and I started doing it. And I started doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And I just kept doing it. And then I got all that fucking wood done. I got everything full. There was nowhere else. She had like a little bit left out there, but there's nowhere else to put it. And so I filled up her whole woodshed, her whole garage, and I can't remember. It seemed like there was another thing or something, but I got it. I couldn't believe it. Like, so I fucking impressed my own goddamn self. I swear to God. Like, fuck. So, but she said, like, oh my God, you're like a robot. How do you do that? I was like, I don't know. I just start going and I just go into like robot mode. I don't know. So I got everything packed. Like, I think tomorrow it'll be just kind of like going back over things or something. I have a few random things still to try and get in some boxes and stuff. Another fucking thing is when I stopped paying the house payment, I started saving boxes when my Amazon and Chewy and all that shit would come. So I started saving boxes for the inevitable day in case it came. And here we are. And I have the perfect amount of boxes. I've had to go out and get a few crates, but I was like, well, I'm not taking all my Christmas stuff. It's like uh, there's things being lost in the past. I brought the ornaments because I was like, well, the kids will want this, like, because of I don't know, nostalgia or something. And if they're gonna still do Christmas, who knows? Like, who knows? Things are gonna shift around so much. And I don't know, all their holidays are created just for consumerism. It's just like dragging us from one to the next. So, so anyways, the but I had that whole collection, Nutcracker. I have a ton of fucking Christmas shit. I donated all my Halloween stuff to the HOA because we did that really cool Halloween, that haunted house. And so I donated a shit ton for that. And then that party too, I donated a ton. But I had tons of Christmas stuff. And it's like, I'm not taking all that stuff. And then some of it I was just like, there was a big box out there. And so I just dumped some of the crates into this big box. And then I used a few of those crates. And I've redistributed stuff And that is another thing where I was like, fuck, that's like a fucking miracle, you know? Because as I'm taping up the last box, I'm like, whoa, that is, like that, like all of the things, when they come and do this to somebody and do like a 5-day thing, all of the things that if somebody did not be prepared for, you know, the moving truck, like just the payday aligning, the moving truck cost, the storage unit cost, gas for the fucking truck, the paying somebody to move you. Um, let me think what the other thing. Um, uh, I can't. I keep on like It's like I keep hitting into something. I don't know. It's weird. Uh, so, anyways, get back to where I was. I think I finished what I was talking about over there. By what is this? So then, so yeah. Anyways, yesterday it was that my son-in-law wasn't gonna go, and then so I called around this morning and started trying to find a truck for me to do that because I was like, fuck, I gotta get this truck and get it over here and start loading it. And but oh yeah, the boxes and stuff. Yeah, the tape. Tape is the only thing I had to go get, $10. And oh yeah, and I got a big fat marker. I was like $3 or something. So I didn't have to spend any money on boxes and stuff because I've been in moving situations and stuff where there's like, geez, you have to go buy boxes and stuff. And I had saved all these and saved all these. So I just was like, fuck. Oh yeah, and I got the crates and I rearranged stuff. And so anyways, it's like, man, that is like miraculous. But I think tomorrow I'm gonna probably leave that Nutcrackers, but this is their home now. Like sometimes things have to end. And so, but I'm gonna use the crates for some of this other odd shaped stuff. And because then it can pile up better in the truck. And so, but that's the kind of thing I have to do tomorrow. And I promised I'll like I would take her for a walk because we haven't gone for a walk for 2 days. She's so stiff. It's so crazy too how she'll be so stiff right in the same place I'm so stiff. Always fucking happens. And what I've also started noticing is Max is starting to have like the same symptoms as like they'll just keep doing like the same kind of things. And so I swear to God, it's the fucking poison, which that's another thing too. This poison has been getting to me for a while. I need to get out of it. Like, I don't know if everybody has the fog as bad as it here. So, because we have it all fucking time. And I've said it for fucking, I swear to God, I bet you it's been a couple years I've been talking about it. And so I've been getting that goddamn poison for however fucking long. So that could be another thing too, is why my guide was like, this is the time. Everything has a certain time. And I just kept thinking that it was going to go the other direction. I kept thinking something would open up and then I would know which direction to go. But it was more like that kick of like, nope, you're going. And I don't know, maybe I'm really lame brain and don't see the signs coming in or something. I don't know, could be. But I do often get that little kick, like, you're doing it, go. And so, there's a lot of things like number 4, remember? It was like, I had to be kicked out of that one too, no matter how miserable I was. Like, okay, well, this is life. So, okay, so I guess reel it back in and get back over where I was. Okay, so then so when I called about the truck, and there's no fucking trucks. There's no trucks over here. And then I was like, oh, well, what about in Spokane? Um, because I told him I was moving the stuff over to Spokane and then coming back, but still, see, it's still in Washington. I don't know if that makes a difference, but he commented. And so, you know, they appreciate you returning the truck. So so I was like, well, what about if I go to in Spokane and then and then return it in Spokane instead of Bellingham, because I was going to leave my car here, which I was going to pack it all up, leave the dogs at my mom's, pack up my whole car really, really full and get more, be able to fit more stuff, which I don't know. I mean, this truck may hold all the stuff. I don't know. I'm not taking like my couch. I'm not taking, I have a bunch of beds I'm not taking. So, a bunch of stuff. Like I'm not taking appliances. I'm not taking my washer and dryer. I've been trying to sell some stuff, and it's like everybody just lowballs you. It's like whatever. I just am taking the any of the money. It's just like fuck yeah, because that can go towards paying my son-in-law, and because he hasn't been working. He came and did that job for me, and then I hadn't paid him because of fucking Christmas. Well, I had paid him partially, but I hadn't paid him the whole thing. But now I can pay him, so I'm going to pay him for this job, and then still pay him the rest of that money for the other one, because I'll pay him next week, and then the next one too. So anyways, then I'll have him paid off, and we'll be helping him too, because that he's been having such problems getting a job, or getting, he was a roofer, but it was in a small business where the kind of boss just takes advantage of you. And so just makes you do all the shit for no money. Like they don't pay you what they should be paying you, making you do like foreman, or making you be running a job, like different shit. And they don't pay. They're just are always pulling shit. And so whatever happened, I don't remember if it was fired or quit or whatever. But then he's been just doing side jobs. But everything is going to fall apart. That's the thing, is we just got to trust as it's falling apart that it's going to come back. It's going to be fine. Don't feed that energy of like, fuck, it's going to be, my life's over. My life's over. It's done. I'm never going to have another home. I'm never going to have this. I'm never going to have that, you know. You guys got to kind of let go of stuff and just keep moving, because you start feeding that energy, and then you get all that dark energy on you. But you feed into that dark energy, and it's way more better to feed into the other, even though it's more challenging to, try and be positive, like, oh, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine. But that is where those mantras and stuff come in handy, because then you can just do your little catchphrase, let go, let God, let go, let God. So anyways, looked like somebody was in that. There's so much stuff stacked up. That was creepy looking. It looked like something was moving over there. And still, it's so uncomfortable. Honey, I can give you some more medicine. She's so stiff. It's so rainy. You're doing so good, honey. Come here, my little lady. So then he looked it up, and he, for the Spokane to Spokane, and they did have a truck in Spokane. So that is when I started being like, oh, okay, so they've got a plan, obviously. And so then the guy also gave me discounts. So he reduced a bunch of the fees, because it was going to be over $1,000 just for the mileage. And so he reduced a bunch of the stuff. And so I got a much more reasonable price. I don't think it was like, I think maybe like 30% off or something, if you put it all together. I'm not sure. But they can, there's wiggle room somewhere in there so being real nice when you're talking to those people is, because they can reduce the stuff. They reduce the mileage from $1.29 or $1.39 a mile to 75 cents a mile. And then so the cost to rent it per day is $30, but then the cost to have insurance on it is $35. And so so then, and it's like the roads, it's too cheap. Like we could go across passes and stuff. So then I was like, on that thing, whatever I said, I don't know, because then he goes, "Oh, I'll give you another discount." And he said something about, "Are you military?" I go, "Well, I'm senior." He goes, "Okay, yeah, that works." And so I was like, "Okay, cool." And so, anyways, he got it way reduced. I have to pay more because I have to leave a deposit. And then when you get back, you get the deposit back. But I think it's like 950 or something. And so that is there's I still gotta get gas and stuff and then pay Danny, so it will end up costing I don't know, like a couple $1,000 or something for the whole move, which I mean that's pretty cheap, I guess. Because everything is so expensive now. Like I swear to God. It seems like it used to be so much cheaper. I used to move all the time. I always went back and forth from California to Texas for the first few years. And yeah, it's weird. And then the all of a sudden I was sort of going through my head of like, what about my friends? Like, why didn't I see Dick? Like, but I was married then. So, okay. So, anyways, so I had to set it up um without, and there was all these things too, like you're supposed to have a card when you pick up the truck. And I was like, but I was being honest with the guy with the whole thing. And like I said, it seemed like they appreciated you returning the truck. Because that it was costing me a lot, but their trucks go and then they don't bring them back. So maybe that's why there's no trucks over here. Everybody's leaving and taking them one way. But anyways, I'm gonna take it from there and take it back. And so anyways, that is that whole thing. And then so I had to set it up and then to not have the card and stuff, so we had to try and he had to call the place and ask them and set up the whole thing. And everything just kept going. Like everything just kept working and working and working. And I'm just like getting reduced fees. I had no idea. I just called and I said, if there's not um, unlimited mileage. And then he was explaining, so no, the probably because like what I was gonna do, drive way across the state, drive back. So but anyways, I still had to pay some to do it, but so anyways, I had to set it up without talking to my son-in-law because last night he was like not coming, and so then I was like, fuck. So that's why I was like, well, I'll pay him too. I mean, he needs money. It's a job. And, I mean, it's going to suck, but we'll do it real quick. And so anyways, I got all set up and then he called. It was like hours and hours and hours after I left the message. And that's where I had to, let go, let God kind of stuff. Like, it's going to be fine. This is working out the way it's supposed to work out. So I don't have to sit here and try and force it and freak out and get mad and, um, panic or any of that stuff. And just go with the flow, go with the flow. And so then, and I don't remember, it seemed like there was something weird with the timing. I don't remember it was something I was thinking or whatever. And then all of a sudden he called. Oh, I was texting him. He had texted me. No, I don't know. Oh, I was texting him. Oh, yeah, because I was texting him to clarify. I wanted to make sure he understood. I'll pay you for this job because I'm thinking, man, that's his issue right now is not being able to get enough jobs. And so I was like, I was writing that and he called me. I hadn't even finished writing my thing. And so the timing on that was like good. And then so he said that he would do it. And so he's getting the truck tomorrow, like afternoon or something. Then he's going to drive it over here. And then my neighbor, he said he would help me load because there's only a few heavy things. And then I'm just going to be like putting boxes and boxes and fill it and fill it. And then kind of the odd things, I guess, down front. Because I have tons of paintings. yeah, I've got tons of stuff, like, I mean, you have a lot of stuff, especially, like, if you paint, it's like, oh, you got all these, and I've done a bunch of those little show things, and so you do a whole bunch of paintings, and so I got a lot of painting, and I had gotten ready for that year because the year of the close down, the year of the quarantine, I had waited a whole year to get my spot at all these different places. So I got all my paintings ready, and then got my first place, went and set up my show, and then the quarantine happened. And then they told me I had to come back and get it. And then all of my things got canceled, the whole thing. And I had waited so long. Well, I did get it in 2 different places. And I did sell some of those ones, but still, oh, so many paintings. And then, so anyways, I got that to fill into. So I'm just hoping, because it's 16 feet long. So, I mean, we'll see. I just keep telling myself, trust. It's going to be fine. You're going to get exactly what you're supposed to have. But it's like, it's nerve wracking. It's very much like, well, for me, I don't know, maybe other people don't get nerve wracked, but I have to keep myself calm. I can lose my mind. So yeah, I have to talk myself down all the time. Um, or my guides do. I don't know. I don't want to just be too up in my own ass. Like, it's probably them. They're always showing me shit. They're always telling me stuff. I don't know this stuff. They make me feel like I'm a goddamn genius. I swear to God, I cannot believe the shit that they show me all the time. Like, I'll be trying to do something and I'll be like, fuck. And all of a sudden it's just like, woo. It's like thought bubble comes in, thank you. And it is like, oh, hell yeah. And then just do it, and it's like, god damn miracle. So, that's one thing I really appreciate with them. So, yeah, I can't claim anything. It's always, to me, it's always them. So, and you have something like, everybody has such a big team. It's like you can't even be specific over, well, no, it's Uncle Joe over there. He's the one, it's like it's like an energy. Dang it. I hate it when she's uncomfortable. And I really can't wait to go to sleep. And she also has been drinking a lot of water. So anyways, then, so the neighbor said he would help me load the thing, and I'm sure he's going to want to help me do. He's very nice, he's very nice and stuff. And I gave him my wood. So I told him, if you want the wood. So he came over and got all that, and then he's going to go get all of the wood out of the woodshed. It's like, hell yeah. And my other neighbor, the one I'm dog sitting for, she's trying to sell my stuff. She's like trying to make deals with people. And so, anyways, but stuff's going cheap. Like they're getting a deal, but it's helping me out, because some of that stuff, like my generator, was like, fuck, I wasn't going to take that. And so, and then out here, somebody's going to probably need it. I swear to God, I bet you something's coming. It's just like it's in the air or something. Oh, yeah, that was one of the things I was going to say earlier, is this tension, this weird feeling. Like ever since, so he came and he served me. But and leading up until then, I kept looking out the window, like I said, like I expected somebody to pull up. And then there would be these weirdos coming all the time. And so creepy. I still, like, it still is weird. Like, I don't know. The whole thing's weird. There's just too many fucking weird things. So, so oh God, don't tell me I'm getting lost again. So, oh yeah, so the tension. Oh yeah. So you'd think that there would be like a relief though. Like I would be like, okay, now I don't need to keep watching. Like something's about to, but I can't stop. It's like, that's where I feel like, man, something's about to go down. Something's about to go down. It's like so tense. It's just like, it's crazy. And so even when that happened, it didn't relieve that. It's only just keeps building and building and building. And I'm not going to feed it into bad. I'm just going to feed into positive. And so, if we're directing it, I think that we have two direction choices. Like, so to me, it's like, because I was on negative timeline for a long time. And then I switched over. But don't forget, whatever you're going to do is always what you're going to do when you do it. So it's you like are on the train tracks, and then you took that veer and you went in that direction. But you were always going to go in that direction. It was always the direction you were going. And so the direction, sometimes I'll start hearing the word and it's like, what the fuck am I talking about? The direction. um so the direction of the ride, because I see it as like a amusement park ride. Like you're birthed in, you get on the ride, you pick your seat, and that's like a template, and that's like a part of the experience. And then like, we all go through this same tunnel. It's like this ride. And it all depends on what you're looking at and how you're looking at things, is if your ride is good or bad, basically. So, and people just don't realize that. Like, they don't realize that, because we are drowning in negative. We're drowning in the dark energy. That's why it got too heavy on that side, and that's why it's going to flip. But it's not like it wasn't expected. Like, was always going to happen. And that's how you can know it will happen, because it was always going to happen. It will happen. And that's just the way it is. That's the cycles you can depend on. That's the good thing. Well, I can't even say like we can depend on the sun coming up, because we got fake ass suns now. We don't even know now because the Truman Show shit. So I don't know about that even. It used to be like, well, you can depend on the sun just like you can the sun coming up. It's like, well, we can't depend on that. That could be our days of darkness. Who knows? It could be that they forget to turn the sun on or something. Who knows? I swear to God. It's so weird too, because like when I start seeing like these different places, it's like, man, we are just closer than we think, and we are in these different kinds of, I don't know how to explain it. And I saw this country, or this place over, this video over, I think it's over by China. I swear to God, over in the Orient. It's fucking old. There's some crazy ass shit over there. And I swear to God, I think it's older than Egypt. I think over here, over in the Orient, I don't know, it's fucking trippy. Oh yeah, because that's where the Great Wall of China is. They think like, oh, that's the Wall of Tartaria. So see, I'm telling you, it's really old, but this video of this city, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I don't know how to explain it. You go get an elevator, and then you go like 365 floors under the ground, and then you can come out in a parking garage and walk out and be outside. It's like I'm telling you, we are not in a consistent kind of world like what people try and wrap their heads around. You gotta let go. Let go and let God, because it's crazy. Yeah, it's like these different realms. Sometimes when I'm looking at certain things, and it's just, you can just see. So, anyways, okay, where the fuck was I? So, let's go back to the moving thing. So then Sunday, load the truck. Then Monday at midnight, they can come here and they're gonna remove me. And my neighbors said they'd probably show up at midnight and do it. What are you gonna do? But I'm hoping to leave Monday afternoon. And so we'll leave Monday afternoon, then Tuesday I can unload it into the storage thing. And maybe we can turn it back in on Tuesday. I was going to turn it back in Wednesday, but I don't know. I wonder if they give you your money back, they would turn it in early. I don't know. I'll have to look and see, because that would be cool. I can get some money back and then just give it to him. Get the deposit and that. So then I'm not, because of some of the money I was gonna have to borrow from my mom too. Because I gotta pay for gas and stuff too. Gas is like a couple $100 or something to fill it up, and I'm gonna have to fill it up 2 times at least. So, anyways, um, so that's when I'll be over there, and it's snowy and stuff too. It's really cold over there. He said it's been in the 20s and 30s. Like, fuck. Um, but over here it's so wet and damp. I don't know. It might feel like, I don't know. I'll see what it feels like when I get there. I'll know then. And then plus I'll be outside a lot. But I keep on finding more blanket. I was just like, I'm just going to get a lot of blankets. And then, like I said, get that tarp thing on the inside or whatever. And make it so it's more insulated. I actually do have a tarp I just bought. I wonder if I could tape that up. You'd have to like do double-sided tape. I wonder how you would do that to kind of get it to stick to the side of the walls, because it's one of those like igloos, because the shape of the igloo too, see, that's the thing too. I think it's like more conductor or something, heat conductor kind of shape, so it would warm up better inside there. That's what I was thinking, like that'd be way better. I'll just set up the tent and then set up a spot where I can just sit down there and crochet, and then the dogs will do whatever, walk around. This little freaker, probably I will have to watch him. He will eat anything, I swear to God. It's the nibbler of the ground. I can't even believe it. And in a garage, that's like, so I'll probably have to watch out for that. And then, but I just feel like, something this way comes, and anything can happen. Like, I could get there, get the storage unit, and next week the banks collapse, and then I can buy a different place. It's like there's so many restrictions, because all of everything is owned by the corporations and the LLCs, and they want to make our fucking lives miserable. So they make it, you have to have good credit score, which neither my son-in-law or I have a good credit score when we were even talking about getting a place together. And then dogs. You can't have dogs. He's got a pit bull, and I've got 3 dogs, and a giant dog, which they have weight limits. Like all these fucking limitations, like telling us how to live, where to live, when to. I've been thinking about so much like the corporate zombie life, just this fucking slavery life. And, because everybody's questioning me over my choices of not paying the bank and not supporting them. And even my mom said, yeah, but sometimes you just have to wait. You just got to do what you're supposed to do and wait until things shift, or until something changes. And I was like, no, you gotta make the change. You gotta do something to make the change, and then hope everybody follows along. And so I've always been one of those people. I was just gonna go in that direction. Like, fuck the fucking bank. Like, we gotta start going, and fucking fuck them. I'm not gonna pay their shit. And then I would rather live in a tent. And I've said that this whole fucking time I've been doing this. And so here it is. I'm standing for what I said. I'm going to go live in a fucking tent in the garage. But still, in the winter. But I think, yeah, I'm going to put a heater in there too, because I do have plugins. Even I was thinking I'm going to make my own little kitchen spot in the garage where I can cook the dog's food and make my tea and stuff. So I even have my toaster oven, and I have a little stovetop thing. So I can have like a little kitchenette set up there, where all I have to do is to go to the bathroom and stuff, not be going in there, really at all. Just stay down there in the garage, because the dogs are going to freak out. Like, they're going to be a wreck until we get our own place again, and we start getting our own things out, and then they start getting that feeling of like, okay, everything's fine. And that's the cool thing when you have an older dog, because that's been with you a while, because then they know, like, oh, we've done this before, oh, I remember this. But when you have new ones, it's like, what the fuck is happening? What's happening here? And so once we get to the new thing, then, but just being at my mom's is going to be intense with them. So But I just know everything's temporary, however it is. In February, I'll be able to get all of the different people paid. Like even if I have to borrow money for her from her or whatever, I'll be able to get her paid back. And this is another thing. Well, I'm not gonna say any of the things until they go all the way. Then I'll say. But it seems like there's some other little miracles happening too. But so let me think for a second. So the kitchen or the garage won't be that bad. It'll be temporary, and then something will happen. Something will happen, and maybe it'll be the Freedom Cities or something. Maybe one of the Freedom Cities will be like, hell yeah. I don't know. I just know something good, something's coming, and so anyways, and I'm just gonna, this is my opportunity to stand for what I talk, not just talk the talk, but walk the walk, walk the talk, talk the walk, whatever. To just, because it's easy to say stuff, but then do we really stand up when we're pushed to the thing, or do we bend down to the corporate bullshit? And it was like, I'm not going to bend down, especially the more I would learn and the more in the corruption and the more, and then the illegal shit. That's what gets me. Like, that's why I'm like, Whatcom County is so fucking corrupt. Because it's these contracts and shit are so fucking illegal and shit. And that is why they're all going to be gone. That's why mortgages, all of that stuff is going to be gone, because all these contracts are bullshit. And they're selling us something they don't motherfucking own. You can't fucking own the earth. So, and that is why we'll be more like tenders. Like your land would be like your area, like your family's area, like that you guys all take care of. This is your land that you guys take care of. And I think that's what it's going to go more like. And then there's going to be a lot of changes in the landscape and stuff. And there's going to be a lot of changes to migration. There's going to be a lot of moving around. I think a lot of people in America are going to try and go and get more in touch with their roots, because there's been such a disconnect to culture for so long in America. It's like people are starved for it. They starve to feel like they have some kind of connection, or it's making me emotional. Some kind of like an understanding back to your heritage and how you got to where you are and stuff. Like they took a bunch of mutts or something, and then they told everybody to be ashamed of where you came from when the people would come over. And so there was a lot of crimes against each other. It was like a real negative thing. And so, anyways, in America, it just got so off culture, and I just think it's so cool. Like when you hear all these different countries, oh, I'm Irish, oh, I'm Scottish, oh, I'm Polish, oh, I'm German, I'm French and stuff. And American is like, it's not the same as all these other places. Like all these other places have like a heritage. They have like a history or something. America, our history is even made up. So it's just a fucking big old lab rat, fucking made up Truman Show fucking world to get us all to run on the hamster wheel and go to work mindlessly to keep up our credit score and buy a big old house and buy more cars, buy more TVs or whatever the fuck, buy a new goddamn phone every other goddamn year. So before they had us on computers. God damn. Every time you get a computer, it was like obsolete the next year. Fuck, my back hurts. And so I'm going to have to do more stretches, and then I'm going to go to sleep for a while. And then I feel so much more at peace, too. It's like, okay, this is fucking manageable, because it was like overwhelming there for a while. But then I just start going, and then as things start getting done, it's like, oh my God, I already finished that. Oh my God, I already finished that. It's like, oh my God, I am a robot. You start seeing, like, you don't even know these sides of yourself until you're pushed to the brink. These kind of events and stuff in life can show you what you're made of. And then, you know, sometimes, you know, some people fall apart and cry and stuff. But when you just push yourself as far as you can push yourself, then as far as they're pulling you, really, and it's hard, but end up seeing stuff about yourself like, fuck, man, I kick ass. God damn, I'm strong. That is one thing too, is all this exercise, like my doing my weights and stuff, is paid off. Like I can't even fucking I'm some people, if they had like, and plus doing it by yourself and stuff, and I think there's some people who would be like, oh, they wouldn't have the strength. And I mean, my back is sore right now, but it was like, I think what really got sore, because I had the bed frame fence, and I went out and pulled them, and I was wrestling these fucking weeds that grew through. I was like, oh, motherfucker, cutting them. It's like, God, that fucked my back. And those fucking bed frames are heavy motherfuckers. They're all brass. And I had in front of my garden, was like this, like bed knobs and broomsticks kind of fencing. I really want to do a whole longer one. I just love it. It's just so cool. But it's cool like in like an area. Like I like the little garden area. But anyways, I really liked it. So I was like, I'll fucking get in the goddamn bed frames. And so I wrestled that. I did so much stuff. Like, fuck, I did a lot of stuff. My trash can is totally full. And I still have more to do though. Because then once, so Sunday morning, we'll get that loaded. And then my neighbor, he's going to let me put stuff over there. Like, I think I'll put my yard furniture over there. I don't know. We'll see if I don't know if it would fit, but I mean, that's kind of big. And I really like it. And I'm going to probably end up having to let go of it, but maybe she'll sell it or something. But I like it because it's all solid wood. But I don't know if it'll fit on the truck. We'll just have to see. I mean, miracles happen. A 16-foot truck could, you go inside, you know, and how it's like stretching out. And the more you put in, it stretches and stretches. And then you come out, it's like, it didn't move, but boy, it's just getting more and more room. Miracles happen. And so, anyways, we'll see. But then when she gets back, then she wants to get a bunch of stuff of mine. And so, I'm going to move some stuff over there for her to sell. I got one of those 25-foot ladders because these ceilings are so high. And so I'll get her to sell that because those are a couple $100. And my stomach's going crazy. And then what is it? What is the other one? There was like a few different things that, oh, I have these beds, like, I don't know, whatever I can get over there. Beds I can't go and put outside, but whatever I can get over there, she's going to try and sell it or whatever, or I'm going to leave it and then I can come back and get it. So anyways, that's cool. Because I got to get my bike too. I'm not leaving my bike. I got to get that. I wish I had I had one of those topper things for the car, but I can't find it anywhere. I must have let somebody borrow it and I can't find it. So, so anyways, then, move that stuff over there. Then Monday, finish whatever. We may just leave Monday morning. I might just leave Monday morning and go. We'll just have to see, because I gotta leave by Monday afternoon, because I'm not waiting until midnight. There would be no reason to. I'm just gonna go. So, yeah, I may just leave then. And then my neighbor, if she wants to keep coming over and getting stuff, she can do that. But, yeah, I think if we get it all loaded Sunday, I just gotta see sometimes. Like, I don't know. I don't think it will take that long because I feel like I'm really organized. I've got everything boxed up and over here piled up. I've been seeing it in my mind, like putting it together in my head inside the truck, how this will fit by there and that will fit by there, and then that can go on there. Like, I've been doing that in my head. Like, so I have it all, like, I feel like it's worked out in my mind. It's just that I don't know that space thing. the space encounter. So that it will be my factor to see how accurately the stuff fits. So we'll see. Um, but let me think. Was there some other stuff? 109. I was thinking, God, how long have I been just yakking? Um, let me think. So, anyways, going with the flow. Go, oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, okay, so when you're gonna be vulnerable, you got to it's so easy to be perceiving what you think the other person is gonna react like, and I think it's just important. But we all do this naturally. But then when you see somebody doing it, then it's like, uh, I think that like we overthink things, and then also, yeah, because then it gets based on. Wait a second. Oh my God. That was so fucking weird. Oh my God. That was so weird. Oh my God. Hold on. Oh my God. I don't even know how that happened. That was so weird. Oh my gosh. I was looking over in the kitchen and there's like a cup, my copper cup next to the canister. My tea stuff is all right there. And I was looked at it for a second, but then all of a sudden it changed into a different room. Oh my God, that was so weird. It like made my brain melt or something. That was weird as fuck. Because then I was like so confused, like, what the fuck am I looking at? What the fuck is going on? Oh, that was weird. Oh my God, I swear to God, that made my brain feel weird. God, that was weird. So, anyways, the talking for a long time. What was that before that? So let's see. I'm gonna sleep tonight. Hopefully, I'm gonna do some more stretches and get more stretched out. But the getting the imbalance. Yeah, that's what we're working on. Is trying to find out. That's what the awakening is about. That's what this whole process is. And that's why there's so many emotional shifts and stuff going on, and so many epiphanies and aha moments, and people just realizing that. But I don't know. I kind of feel like it's shifting out of the like super ego, like where it was all like these chosen starseed, like these people who are just going on hard. That now they're kind of reaching this humbling point. And especially for people, if they haven't been focusing on, they've been out there trying to manifest their best life, millionaire lifestyle, then that is misdirecting their energy. So yeah, they should have probably been work, because they're a part of that whole thing of cutting people out of your life. And like, you can't just cut people out of your life. Even though yesterday I was like, I don't even have a mom. I was like, this is some bullshit. I don't have a tissue either. And then you start playing it all out, like, oh my God, I never did. Nobody's ever cared about me. Like, and you start having all these memories coming back, and it's like, oh my God. And then they surprise you. But that's the thing, see, is people do change too. And that's what we don't realize. Like, and maybe, she thought, oh, well, my daughters are freakouts, and she's going to scream and cry or something. But I know I've changed a lot. I don't know what my behavior was like before, but I know I've changed a lot. And so, maybe I was unstable. I probably was unstable. I was a basket case, I think. But this world is fucking weird, man. Especially when you are, when you go by your, like your spirit side. People don't understand it. People don't understand this go with the flow and listen to your guides, talk to your guides about it, look at it from a different perspective. Like, people don't think like that. They don't think about it or whatever. And to me, it's the way to live. It's like that's the spiritual way to live. And that is why when they were all starting with this spiritual awakening and they were going off from that, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. You guys are, the spiritual awakening is much more of like, fuck yeah, I'm a fucking badass, man. I'm goddamn, I mean, Princess Anunnaki. I'm the fucking, all of that stuff. So all the people just get all, the chosen and stuff like that, which that whole 144,000 thing that they get so stuck on, I think it has to do with their frequency or something. It's not 144,000 people. Like, look at how many people are in the world. Like, that's ridiculous. And but it's something like, because don't forget, like, the common language amongst beings is numbers. So that is the communication, is numbers. And so that 144, if we think of it as hertz or whatever, then, but the 144 is a love language or something, I don't know, because I don't know. But I think that's what I'm talking about. I think that is what it is. But, I mean, everybody's got their own opinions. And then there's just so much too, like with the religion interference. And then there's the fucking people who just blend spirituality and religion. Because it's like, well, gotta have, take any chances here. You stay good with that guy over there. He may burn me in hell forever. But when you really get spiritual, then you start really realizing, like, there is no hell, there is no good or bad, or it's all variable. It's all in perception. And so it's not absolute. It's all how you look at things. Like, there's always a positive side and there's always a negative side. And you can focus on whichever side. Like, but what I realized is that the negative side is to push you into the positive side. And so just like this, I mean, I've been bitching and bitching about the goddamn weather, about the swamp yard, about all the stuff falling apart. But I mean, it has been, it was weird. Like, I really, when the bathroom was done and the porch, like that porch, I love that porch, man. Is when the bathroom was done, and my I had my whole little closet room set up. Like, I was like, fuck, everything just seemed like peachy keen. So I thought, oh, okay, so this is where I'm staying for now or whatever. This is where I'm going to be. But then it was like, fuck, a couple weeks later, they're like, hell no. I told you to pack your shit. But I wasn't sure at the time, but it was still, it was like, it's possible, it's possible. And so I was just waiting around to see, and then I found out. And so then it's, well, now I'm going in a new direction. I'm going on a new adventure. This chapter is ending and a new one's beginning. And I like that in life. I like to have chapters, and I like to have like, endings used to freak me out. Beginnings used to really freak me out. I would overthink the fuck out of them. Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do that? Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? Oh, shit, 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 shit. It's taken a lot of practice to get to this, like, I mean, because I wanted to kick in gear when my son-in-law had been calling and stuff, but I kept on being, just trust, just trust, just trust. And then the pass is supposed to be clear right now. So my mom's like asking about, like, were you going to be driving on the pass and all that? And you got to be so careful. And I was like, well, I just got to trust. Like, everything is going. But I could also, like, if we could get a hotel room or something that night and then go in the next day or something. I don't know. Just go with the flow. Just gonna go with the flow. Everything seems to be in a flow right now and seems to be going, with ease. But there also, yeah, like a river, how it will go with the ease, but then you'll go into choppy parts, and then well, you just got to ride out the choppy parts, and then it will start going back into a flow again, and then you'll hit the bumpy parts again. And the more, oh, yeah, in life, get, like if you do the river rafting thing, and you got to kind of get in the motion. Also, when I'm riding a motorcycle or something, well, that's what my boyfriend taught me. It was like, go with the, you got to get into the movement. Like, you get in this movement. And so, in the river rafting thing, so it's the same kind of thing in life. In going through that, you just got to get in this movement of how it's going. So, yeah, sometimes it's going to be choppy, but that's where you just write it out and, like, do your mantras or whatever. Keep reminding yourself, this is just temporary. This is just a resetting. This is things changing. I'm about to go into something different. Something's about to change or go down or whatever. So, then let me think what else. Man, my stomach is just gurgling and gurgling and gurgling. It's like, what in the holy hell? I haven't eaten anything for 2 days. Well, maybe that's why it's gurgling. It's going crazy. Like, what the fuck? It's the parasites are trying to eat their way out. Um, so I'm going all in tomorrow too. Like, everything I even think, like, because I've got chips and stuff. Well, I may end up, um, I don't know. We'll see if I make some nachos or something. Well, I already packed the toaster oven too. There's something else. Like, when I went in, I took a shower, and then I packed my hairbrush. I'm told, oh, like I'm a robot. Just go, go, go. Just packing and packing and packing. And, but I got this shit done, and I feel so much more better. I have felt so much more better just getting this opportunity to be in the garage. Yeah, just for Stella's thing too. She would be so fucking miserable in the car. Oh my God. When she's miserable, oh, she likes to make sure I know it. So it's like, fuck. Um, I just feel like so thankful. And see, I was thinking too, probably a big thing my mom's going through too, like why she's being so traumatized by my brother's situation, is guilt. Guilt. I bet she's just getting her ass kicked. And then to see my face, and I am a catalyst energy. I've always been. I'm always create shifts and things. And it was something I was being shown earlier, and it was like, oh, now I can't think of it, the whole thing. It'll come to me again, but it's like, sometimes you're just like a catalyst energy that creates change. And so, uh, I think sometimes that people look at you and they think you're judging them, but, I don't know. But sometimes, I mean, maybe they're just picking up on your judgmental too. Like, it could be a lot of different things, really. Everything is so vast. Like, as soon as you say that, well, could be, couldn't be. Could be this, could be that, could be anything. It's like so hard to know for sure. Oh, we got Mr. Tootie Beauty over here. They had a bunch of pinto beans, and pinto beans always give them gas, but they love them. They are so good. Pinto beans are so good, but they love them. And that all that food I cooked for the big snowstorm, fuck yeah, that's been so handy. Fuck yeah. It's like, see, I had no idea. I thought a snowstorm was coming. A storm was a coming. I just didn't know what kind. But fuck yeah, man, that has been so handy. And let me think. Was there another thing? I keep forgetting to take my I keep forgetting to do everything. I haven't done any of my like lymphatic massaging or any of my. I haven't done any of my face yoga. I've barely. I barely. I keep having really dirty hands. Like they probably are stained. And then touching my face, and it was like, man, I probably got just dirt smeared all over my face. But that's how it goes down when you're moving. And it will be over in a couple days, and I'll be on a whole nother weird thing in the garage, crocheting my freaking cold ass fingers. And then I bet it will be kind of fun. I don't know. Yeah, well, we'll see what I say about it then. Be like, motherfucker, God, this is cold. It's miserable. But it's an experience, you know? And you wouldn't have those experiences if you never. I mean, what is life for? Isn't life to have experiences? Isn't it to experience different things? And, um, but yeah, another thing though that I was gonna say, yeah, with those spiritual people, like what we saying, cut people out of their lives and stuff, you miss out on the fact that the people grow. Like my one daughter, who hasn't talked to me since quarantine happened, that she, I mean, I'm not even the same person. Like you've missed out on all of that stuff because you're so holding on to something from like when you were 13 or something. And we all do this. We all get these traps. Like I was like that for sure. And so what goes around comes around too. And but I was like that. Oh my God, I was so judgmental of my mom when I was a teenager and stuff. And then as I got older, I just kept thinking, man, if I would have had better parents, I wouldn't have such a shitty life. It's like, fuck. I swear to God, everybody else is normal. My parents just did, but like I'm weird, and I was just really stuck on just something was wrong with me. Something was wrong with me, and it was my parents' fault. And so, but you know, you clear that up, and you learn how to like all these fucking things about yourself. Like I kind of like being a robot. Like I can get shit done. I feel like a superhero or something. And I wouldn't have known that. Like, even if somebody, you know, what it drove me crazy. Other people in here trying, like, it's already so fucking crowded. It's like a hoarder house where you have like a trail to get through the house, which is really hard on Stella. Poor Stella, she's always having to back it up everywhere she goes. So, anyways, that would have sucked too, having a bunch of people in here trying to help me. It's like, no, I just will do it myself. And so I don't know. I just like the drive of it, the feel of it, or something. And now I got it all done, and now I just feel like a giant weight is off of my shoulders. I still have more to go, but still, it's like, man, that was like, fuck, so much. But I totally feel like that. I swear to God, it will not surprise. Especially think about it too, is the bank taking the house in their fucking bullshit. It's like I would not be surprised at all if a tree or something goes on the house or something big happens. I don't know. I'm gonna be really curious. I'm definitely gonna stay in contact with. Well, I got both these. Well, I've got a bunch of them have my number, so yeah, I'm sure people would tell me like, "Oh my God, you know what happened to your house?" So I would hear, and then probably hear on the news. Well, who knows? Like nobody gets the news of stuff, but I would think, I don't know. I just feel like something is coming here. It's like something, I don't know. And like I had said, the evacuation issue was a huge issue. This fucking being poisoned all the time. This nonstop motherfucking raining all the time. And the earthquake, or volcano or something off Oregon coast that they said's about to go, and that's going to cause all of that problems that will go up into Seattle and stuff. But see, even though I'm past Seattle, that affects the whole route, so you're fucked. You're trapped. It's like a fucking trap. And then you're right up against Canada, which who knows how that would go. Like, who knows? Like, if the sky starts opening or who knows? Like, it will be all bets are off. Like, how are they going to tell us shit? So that's why we just got to see how this is going to play out. The universe is going to, I think the universe has a big surprise coming, because there sure is a lot of people who feel the intensity of this energy coming. It's like intense, man. It's like constantly looking over your shoulder, like, what's coming? What's coming? I was like, fuck. So anyways, I'm gonna get off of here, but I will show you my tooth. Like, fuck yeah. I hadn't looked at it when I was gonna start earlier before I went and put the back cream stuff on. Is that I was thinking, well, dang, I haven't even looked at it. And when I look in here, I can't see it as good as when I go in there and look. But I was like, man, looks so much better, but it's doing just like what I had said, like it's turning like gray and orange. So look at that. Like look from the side too. Look at that. Oh, I think I was looking at the wrong tooth. I was like, fuck, it's already finished. I was like, what the fuck? No, there it is right there. It's kind of sensitive right now too. Feels like every bit of wind hitting into it or something. Like you still got a baby while it's healing. It still is like sensitive. Well, I'm not chewing right now at all, but I haven't been chewing on that side anyways. But anyways, it definitely, the black thing is like getting smaller, and all of the part that's closing and around it is like turning orange, and then it turns white, and then turns orange, and then turns white, and it just keeps doing that. And then this is just going to disappear, and then it'll look like this. So, okay. We're just going to wrap this up. Sorry for this chaotic ride that this has been today, but I'm telling you, I feel so scattered, and it's so weird because it really does start becoming like, did I dream that? Did I just think that? Especially like when I'm busy doing stuff and I'm in my head and I'm thinking like, oh, what I'll talk about or whatever, like I'm talking to y'all or something. And then it's like, did I already say that? Did I talk about that? Like, I can't tell. It's like, man, this is so confusing. It's just like this, I don't know. It's just this weird energy. So, anyways, we'll see. But I will record tomorrow. I think I'll do it though before, because it's gonna take him like 7 hours to drive if he picks it up. So I've got all day tomorrow. So I've got all day tomorrow, except for the neighbor now. He wants to like come over and get more stuff, like get the wood and stuff. He likes to chat. It's like, oh, I'm tired for this. I got shit to do. Tomorrow I'll have more time, but it still is. I get very in my own zone though. I get very in my own head, in my head. Like it's like I'm focusing on what I'm doing, and I'm thinking about, oh, gotta go do that. Okay, well, let me go get that. It's just like it's like this whole thing going, and I'm talking like I don't know. It's a lot. It's like all engines are going or something. So anyways, that's one thing too, is like, fuck. I was gonna be sucky too. It's just being around somebody all the time. Because I was like, man, I'm really kind of looking forward to the garage, honestly. It's so loud in there, and the cats and Mr. Tootie Booty. The cats and and just having somebody talking when you're just used to being able to be in quiet headspace all the time, then it's very distracting. Or I don't know, it's harder to do. So anyways, okay, let's wrap it up. So don't forget, what we're doing here is learning how to love ourselves, love everyone, and how to have a living day, because it totally is up to you. So I will talk to you tomorrow evening. Talk to you later. Bye.